This is not an earthquake. This is not a sudden explosion of nature. What you're seeing in Sicily is something far slower and far more terrifying. An entire hillside is quietly giving up. Let's look at what actually happened. In January 2026, the Sicilian town of Niscemi woke up to a nightmare. After days of intense rainfall, the ground beneath the town began to move. Not violently, but relentlessly. Cracks opened across roads, gardens split in half, and then the land itself began sliding downhill. Homes were suddenly left hanging over a growing cliff edge. Some buildings dropped more than 20 meters as the slope collapsed beneath them. Within days, over 1,500 people were evacuated, not because the land might move, but because it was still moving. Officials delivered a chilling assessment. The entire hill is collapsing. To understand why this happened, we have to look beneath the surface. Niscemi is built on a dangerous geological combination: clay-rich soils, loose sands, layered sedimentary rock. This type of ground behaves very differently when dry versus when wet. When dry, clay is stiff. When soaked with water, clay becomes weak, slippery, and unstable. Think of it like stacking books on top of wet soap. The trigger was extreme rainfall from a powerful Mediterranean storm system. Here's what heavy rain does underground. Water seeps deep into the soil. Pore pressure builds between soil grains. Friction that holds the slope together disappears. Gravity takes over. At that point, the land doesn't fall, it flows. This is called a rotational landslide, where a massive slab of earth slowly rotates and slides downhill along a curved surface. That's why the cracks in Niscemi are wide and arcing. They're the scars of a slope that's bending before it breaks. Here's the uncomfortable truth. This hill has moved before. A major landslide struck Niscemi in 1997, and geologists have warned for decades that parts of the town sit on inherently unstable ground. The danger wasn't unknown. It was managed, delayed, and built over. When you add modern construction, roads, drainage systems, and heavier buildings, you increase the stress on an already fragile slope. Rain didn't create the problem, it exposed it. Southern Europe is seeing a dangerous pattern: longer dry periods that crack soil, followed by short, intense rainstorms, which force massive amounts of water into weakened ground. This stop-start cycle is perfect for landslides. Italy is already one of the most landslide-prone countries in the world, and climate change is making these events more frequent and more severe. The most frightening part? This isn't over. Unlike earthquakes, landslides don't end in seconds. They can continue for weeks or months. As long as the soil remains saturated, the hill can keep sliding. That's why many evacuated residents may never return home. The land they built on is no longer land, it's a moving system. What's happening in Sicily is not just a natural disaster, it's a lesson in geology, a warning about where we build, and a preview of how a changing climate reshapes the ground beneath our feet. Because sometimes the most dangerous disasters don't arrive with a bang. They arrive inch by inch. Comment down your opinion on the video. Subscribe our channel for more informative videos like this.